Welcome to Underworld UK, where Britain's darkest stories are brought to light. From the gritty streets of Gangland, London, Liverpool, Manchester and Birmingham, from Curtis Warren to the Cray twins to county lines and modern-day true crime, we cover everything. Bringing you new videos every week. Subscribe so that you'll be notified when the next video is put out.
Few men in Britain's criminal and fighting history embody contradiction quite like Matt Legg. To some, he was a feared debt collector and underworld fixer. To others, a professional heavyweight boxer who shared the ring with world champions. Today, he's a reflective voice, someone who speaks openly about violence, crime, prison and the personal cost of living on the edge. His story's not a simple redemption arc, it's a long, brutal journey through two worlds that rarely intersect, and even more rarely allow someone to walk away intact. Matt's early life was, by most measures, stable and grounded. Raised in rural Northamptonshire, he grew up with strong parental influence and traditional values, honesty, loyalty and standing your ground. His parents later moved into the pub trade, relocating the family to busier environments where conflict was never far away. From a young age, Matt was noticeably larger than his peers. By 13, he was already physically imposing, a size that naturally drew attention and confrontation. With that size came responsibility. Matt often found himself defending friends who couldn't defend themselves. What started as protection quickly became reputation. Bullies learned to avoid him. Trouble, however, did not. Repeated confrontations, some unavoidable, others impulsive, led to early clashes with police. One particularly violent encounter with officers during his youth left a deep psychological scar, shaping a long-standing distrust of authority that would echo throughout his life. As Matt moved into adolescence, violence became normalised. Street fights were frequent, charges followed. The line between survival and aggression blurred. By his late teens, he was already known locally as someone not to be tested. It was during this period that he drifted into debt collection and criminal work, not out of ambition, but opportunity. His physical presence made him useful. People sought him out. Unlike the gradual escalation many criminals experience, Matt was exposed to serious organised crime almost immediately. He's spoken about being thrown into high-risk environments while still barely an adult, acting as driver, enforcer and problem solver for figures operating far above his understanding. It was a dangerous education, learned quickly and without safety nets. Prison would become the unlikely turning point. Incarceration stripped away the chaos and replaced it with routine. It was there that Matt discovered boxing, not just as exercise, but as structure. Training gave him control, violence became disciplined, aggression had rules. A pivotal influence during this period was Norman Buckland, a legendary fighting figure whose toughness and philosophy left a lasting mark. Their sparring sessions were raw and punishing, but formative. For the first time, Matt saw a path where strength could be refined rather than wasted. Upon release, Matt committed to boxing seriously. He began amateur competition at 18 and quickly built an impressive record, winning 13 of 15 bouts. His style was aggressive and relentless, mirroring his background, but now tempered with technique. He transitioned into professional boxing in 2001, entering the heavyweight division, where every mistake carries consequences. Over 10 professional bouts, Matt won 7. More importantly, he fought on major cards, in respected venues, and against opponents far beyond journeyman level. He shared the ring with some of the most recognisable names in modern boxing, including Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, and American legend James Toney. These weren't novelty appearances or late career mismatches, they were genuine tests against elite fighters. Despite the legitimacy of his boxing career, the underworld never fully released its grip. Through his 20s and early 30s, Matt remained involved in debt recovery and dispute resolution within criminal circles. He was often brought in not to cause chaos, but to prevent it. Negotiation was always his first approach. His reputation alone was often enough to settle matters. But when negotiation failed, violence followed quickly. Matt's described facing armed individuals, volatile criminals, and situations that could have ended fatally. What defined him was not recklessness, but readiness. He did not seek dominance, he met threats head-on when required. That refusal to retreat earned him respect and enemies in equal measure. One of the darkest moments of his life came during his involvement with serious figures connected to Amsterdam's criminal underworld. A close associate was later murdered in what was reported as a Gangland hit. Matt narrowly avoided being present. That decision, made out of frustration and instinct, likely saved his life. Interpol interest followed briefly, then faded. The reality, however, lingered. Death was no longer abstract. Though shaken, Matt did not immediately leave that world. Instead, he became more selective, more cautious. Still, injuries piled up. One violent nightclub incident left him with a shattered jaw, an injury he delayed treating while continuing to drink heavily. Alcohol and substances became coping mechanisms, a way to switch off from constant adrenaline and threat. This cycle is familiar in combat sports: intense discipline during training camps, followed by excess outside them. Fighters like Ricky Hatton and Tyson Fury have spoken openly about similar struggles. For Matt, breaking that pattern took years. He returned to boxing sporadically, balancing training with construction work, security jobs, and lingering underworld ties. In 2008, he mounted a comeback, winning bouts by stoppage and points. Later, an opportunity arose to compete in a UK versus USA tournament featuring James Toney. Despite carrying a rib injury, Matt fought. He lost by late stoppage, but emerged with pride intact. Sharing the ring with a multi-division world champion marked a career highlight. His final professional bout brought everything full circle, ending at Wembley Stadium against Anthony Joshua. From debuting at Wembley Arena to finishing under the stadium lights, the symbolism was undeniable. Though stopped, Matt's aggressive approach earned praise from commentators and fans alike. It was a fitting end. Today, Matt Legg's life looks very different. He trains others, focuses on health, and speaks openly about his past through his YouTube platform, Matt Legg Combat and True Crime Channel. Rather than glorifying violence, he dismantles the myths around it, especially for younger viewers drawn to the image of the hard man. Comparisons with figures like Lenny McLean are inevitable, but Matt avoids rankings and bravado. What sets him apart is his honesty. He acknowledges fear, he acknowledges regret, he acknowledges that survival often comes down to luck as much as strength. His story serves both warning and lesson. Discipline can save you, ego can destroy you, violence always leaves a bill to be paid. Matt Legg lived in two worlds that rarely forgive mistakes. That he survived both and chose reflection over resentment may be his greatest achievement. If you want to hear these stories directly, in his own words, without filters or exaggeration, his channel is well worth your time. It offers insight not just into fights and crime, but into consequence, accountability, and the long road out of darkness. This is not a story about glorifying the underworld, it's about understanding it and understanding the cost of stepping into it unprepared.
When you're sending me all these videos, and I describe these people as circus clowns and completely unknown to me, and that I have never ever in all my life set eyes on them. Look, way back in the day, I was in Woodhill, and there was this professional boxer around at the time, right? He's a big lump. He's from, I think he's from Bedford or Watford or somewhere like that. It was Matt Legg, but I didn't know at the time, right? So we was in the cell and we got into a heated exchange, and I was at my peak back then, but Matt Legg was massive, you know what I mean? But I'd heard that he was a boxer by this stage. So he got really angry with me and he swung one big right hand, right? I ducked underneath it and I closed my eyes and I went bang. I caught him with an uppercut. When I opened my eyes, Matt Legg was on the floor. I couldn't believe it, right? So I was thinking, boy, what am I going to do now? What if he gets up and he does me? Don't be silly. It didn't happen. I could come up here all day and every day telling you that I'd done this one and I'd done that one. And the first thing you do before you send me these videos, and I'll describe them again as circus clowns, right? Always ask this. Where was it? When was it? What were the circumstances? Who else was around? What was the damage? You've got to ask them clowns the questions first. So that when you send the videos to me, right, saying, yeah, look, they're saying this and they're saying that, and this, at least you can give me something to go on. Yeah? So that I can go, wow, that was 90. So I would have been here. I would have been there. What's his name would have been there? Because I remember mostly everything else. My memory goes a little bit blank when it gets to the late 80s, I think. The middle 80s. You know, like, I don't remember some things because we're getting older now. So we don't remember some things unless a name's mentioned. And then we go, right, it was that. So that when you ask them, where was it? Give us something. Then, it was in Hideown, it was this and that. Yeah, all right. What was it? When was it? Who was there? What was it about? Because I can guarantee you this, right? I was more of a weapons man during that life, as many of you know, right? I only did my thing when there was nothing left for me to do. The artful dodger, many of you say, the cheeky chappy, some of you say. Look, the fist fighting for me in the early days, the 90s, big punch and that, and a lot of my fights, I won more than I lost, but I can only count 2 times in my whole life. The one on the football pitch, when Longers, he was 7 foot tall. I was losing that, but I didn't really have no bruises or nothing. Another geezer in Camp Hill, I was on the phone and the screws were there and he went bop, 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 bop. I had a fat lip, yeah? I remember his name and I remember the other geezer's name. And I had a fight with a traveller, right? It was a really funny one. It was hard work. He was really quick, but every time I hit him, right, he was wobbled, right? But he was really, really quick. So in the end, I had to wrap him up and put him down and give him one on the bed. And they would say, look, Yami, come out the cell now. I was in an E-Man suit at that time. When I had a fight in Loudon Grange with Big Ronnie Ben. Ronnie Ben was massive. But I didn't lose that. That was a draw. Everybody was watching, right? And trying to remember more defeats, like saying I got battered and weighed in and unconscious on the floor and got a real severe kicking. No, it never ever happened in prison. You remember the times I got stabbed in Garth? You remember the whole yard rushed me and I only had a fat lip when I robbed a parcel. Swellside, when I got all the stabs, you remember? That was the last time I went down with my fist there. But you remember I was going down there for someone else, but I was still fighting, even though I had the holes in me. Yeah? No. Fantasy, mate. Fantasy. Why wouldn't I tell you that? Do you honestly think it would be the be-all and end-all if someone won a fist fight with me and got the better of me? Don't be daft, man. Not saying that you are, because you're just letting me know. But like many of you know, don't listen to people if they haven't got any facts. Dates, times, places, when it was, what it was over, who was there. You have to have all that. When you're making, a lot of guys make big statements without no backup. I've had many challenges on TikTok. I said, all right, do you want to come in a box, show your face, not behind the screen, and think, come in a box and let's have it. Let's see, so we can, like, the audience can see everything. No, don't want to know, because it's called empty words from empty vessels. Because if you have to lie about beating someone up and getting the better of them when it didn't even exist, then what and where does it leave you, really? So, no, don't make me laugh. And no, I've never had a fight with Matt Legg. I swung at him once, but he dealt with it easy. All right, I'll be up in a little bit. Good morning from Yami BTV. Wishing you all well on another glorious day to be alive, coming from down here, right? So I'm going to clear up a couple of things again with this early morning talk. And one of the few messages that I've been getting is about when people make threats online, right? So obviously we know that MTN is saying, don't worry, I'm going to send a few people around. Don't you ever understand that if anything did happen, that it won't be you coming to get me, obviously, but the people that you're suggesting that are going to come, don't you realise that you'll be locking them all up? Can't you see things like that, man? It's ridiculous from a grown man. Any man that makes threats online, to me, you can't take it seriously. It's got to be a complete joke, mate. So I hope that you understand that, and these so-called fake beefs online. I'm not talking about the fighters as such. I'm talking about people in general that are going to be saying, yeah, you wait till I get you, this is going to happen and that's going to happen and all that. It doesn't make no sense, mate. It's an unwritten rule to say things before they've happened, even after they've happened, because you're implicating yourself and everyone. Right, answered that. Now, everyone knew when I met Matt Legg in the car park that day, all them years ago, right? Must be around about a couple of years or so when I first came out, right? We was joking in the car park. It's really obvious that I wouldn't be able to beat Matt Legg in a straightener. He's a professional boxing fighter, much more professional and much more superior athlete with a high IQ around the fighting things that he used to do. All right, so you can't put yourself in Matt Legg's bracket, right? I'll tell you, one night I was pissed as arseholes. I tried to steal it on him for a joke. I threw 5 punches, just moved in, he went yammy like that. You know, he's such a lovely bloke, Matt Legg. Matt Legg doesn't hit women. He carries himself proper in public. He's one probably, you know what, sometimes in my heart of hearts, right, because you know Matt Legg, he doesn't bully and do things like that. The Inquirer's the same up there, the narrator. I'll get to that in a minute, right? He doesn't feel the need to tell people what he could do. He hardly talks about himself. Everyone that meets him say, I like Matt Legg. I'm telling you, mate, you can't put yourself in Matt Legg's bracket, right? And look, oh yeah, the other thing I was going to say, right? Think about this, right? Matt Legg and the Inquirer as well. The Inquirer can have a right row, right? I've been out with him a couple of nights, way back in the day, right? Another one who doesn't push himself about and bully people and trouble people and talk down to people and belittle people, right? Look at this. The Inquirer's a great narrator now, right? He learned a little bit off me, if he's honest, when he first come out. But it's really gone clear now. They got different skills apart from fighting. Look at Matt Legg. Matt Legg's his presenting skills is second to none. Plus, he's got the character. Can always tell a bad apple, man. So they got other skills as well, which is what you needed to develop, empty head. So don't you dare bring up Matt Legg's name into anything about I had an iron bar again, trying to suggest that I got hidden weapons everywhere I go with the bags that I carry, again trying to lock me up. Yeah, everyone knows it was a false machine that day, right? I love Matt Legg, you know. Matt Legg was a proper geezer. Like I said to you, if he would have been in the Cat A's, I do sometimes find it hard to believe if anyone would have beat Matt Legg in a straightener. It's just that Matt Legg doesn't really want to fight, mate. He had his little badness when he was younger and all that. But don't compare yourself. You've got to be the only man that never knew that was a joke in the car park. Yeah? But real friends, whether they're better fighters than you or not, they won't fight back because they know that they can win those battles there with me, man. Everybody put up with my bollocks over the years. So many hard men I met throughout my life that wouldn't fight me back, but I couldn't beat them. John Gray was the same. Tony Argent was the same. Many of those men are like that. Gary Nelson was the same. Slaney was the same, man. They don't care, because when you got friends, you can say things to them without them getting offended and all that. Hope I've cleared all that up. But don't you lot ever get carried away with people that make threats online and say they're going to do this and send round that and all that. You just cannot take it serious, all right? I'll be up in a little bit more.